Hey guys, Jennifer Outwater here with the Ascension Network for The Source. Tonight is Thursday, August 4th. In case any of y'all didn't wake up and know what dang day it is August 4th. Does it matter? Not really. We're still in that funky energetic, right? I know everybody's having a day, and I tried to talk about it a little bit in my energy report this morning and also with Wanda's astrology message for this morning. But there's a whole lot of information coming in, that's for sure. Boy, the veil just keeps getting pulled back, not only in our personal lives and our daily lives, but also just in the world around us. It's just all the time. Hey, Carol, did I get a new chair? I did, and I didn't. I stole this out of my son's room because it's my favorite chair. It's also the most comfortable chair in the house, and I look better in it than he does. So I took it back from him. But it's comfier, I will say that. It just sits a little bit lower, which is probably good because nobody can see my cleavage, and God knows nobody wants to see that. So, with all that, whatever being said, yeah, crazy days. So, listen, that energy is going to keep on rolling. We know we're building up, and that energy is getting kind of volatile and explosive in the way that it unveils things, in the way that we're going to be seeing things a little more clearly. Now, I will say that a lot of the things that we're going to see tend to be a little bit confusing because you have to remember what's being shown to us is other people's perspectives or their, I don't want to use the word agenda, but what they want us to see, right? So we have to really play kind of a spy situation right now, deciphering what all that means for us personally. So that's kind of, we're going to be talking about energy tonight for sure. I also have some other cool things I want to do with you guys tonight. These are things that we do in class, but for people who aren't in the class, I do want to teach you guys how to pitch up to tone so that you can tap into your third eye and start getting messages. And we are going to play some picture games. So everybody in my class knows how to do this, but it's basically, I'm going to get you guys to tune in and sit with it for a minute with that tone, shooting white light and energy straight up out of your head. And I'm going to ask you to try to view the picture that I'm holding. So this should be a lot of fun. The third thing we're going to talk about is, thanks to Brigitte, because I know she knows a lot about this one, is Lionsgate, of course. That's coming in on Monday, August 8th. And there's a lot of significance in that. There's also a lot of power that can be harnessed within Lionsgate. So for anybody who's been wanting to manifest big change, because that's what Lionsgate is for. It's not for little things like I wish I had 20 bucks to get my nails done. This is like I want to transform my life, right? I want to move to the next level with my work. I want to repair my relationships. These are big things. It also has to do with the planet. So, in the way that we're manifesting positive change for the planet. So, let me jump over and say hey to everybody. Hey, Victor. Hey, Kelsey, Carol, Brigitte, Lisa. Good to see you. Oh, Carol, coming in hot. Let me tell you. Whew, this dewy look on my face, girls, it is not foundation. It is sweat. It is about 1,000,000 degrees in here. And even though I realize I'm in menopause, no woman should ever be this hot. It is ridiculous. Hey, Elise, how are you? Oh, watching while watching TV. Well, I hope the TV's more interesting than I am, but I bet it ain't. Just teasing. But we're going to have fun tonight. I am going to do readings for you guys for sure. I want to make sure we do that. You guys can let me know. I know sometimes you guys are up for going live and sometimes you aren't. But I do like to get you guys involved sometimes. So let me know in chat if you guys are up for that, and I will absolutely put a link in. We're just going to kind of roll into it. So I'm going to pull, if that's okay, I'm going to do just a quick kind of read for collective and kind of where we are right now, because we're coming to a point, I think, and this is in general for everybody, okay? We are coming to a point right now where communication that we're having with ourselves, that self-talk that we're having with ourselves about stability, about what that means to us and what that looks like, is shifting greatly. I know a lot of us feel really unstable right now, and unstable standing on the ground that we're standing on. Literally, the earth is moving faster than it normally does. We've got a lot of weather stuff going on, economic stuff. And it's changing the conversations that we're having with ourselves about what matters and what doesn't. But what it's also doing, unfortunately, is pulling up this insecurity and fear of how do we get through this. And I can tell you, we have to get through with the communication of love. and that is love of self and love of what surrounds us. So gratitude for what we do have, gratitude for the planet that we are on and how it nurtures and takes care of us, and gratitude for who we are. Who we are and what we bring to the table is enough every single day. So if you're feeling like it's not, that's okay. It's okay, I guess is the right way to say it. It's not okay, but it's kind of okay. It is where we are, but I'm asking you to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Let's all put on our big kid underwear and kind of and move out of that if we can. Hey, Diane, good to see you. Miss Lisa, you would like a reading? Absolutely. Miss Lisa, if you can tell me a little bit, when you guys are asking for readings, y'all know I will do general stuff, but I really like to be detailed. So if y'all can put in the line when you want a reading, kind of a question or where you want to go with this, I can make it a lot easier for all of us. And so again, for you guys just jumping in, wait a minute, I got to see what Elise is writing here. You're watching BattleBots. I love it. With your dad, I love it, girl. Get you some BattleBots. That's awesome. That's fantastic. We're going to be doing some interesting kind of psychic building skills today, too. You guys are going to get to be part of the project here, kind of my Frankenstein of psychic ability project. We'll call it that because we're just going to mishmash a lot of pieces and see what y'all come up with. And we're going to be working a little bit on the Lionsgate portal as well. So Lisa would like a reading regarding love. Let me see what I can do, my darling. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, Lisa, Lisa, Lisa. So, Miss Lisa, some of the things that come up for me are past related in the sense of that they're the way you used to handle things, the way you used to look at things, and the way you dealt with things. They are relevant to where we are now, even though you have made huge leaps in emotional maturity and spiritual maturity, and just as a human being. But I have to bring them up because they play into where we are right now. Now, the reason that they play in was if you just heard the reading that I gave in general for the group, it'll make a little more sense. So when I look back at where things were and where you are now, there was a common theme of not being able to make decisions, right? Of being scared to make decisions and being scared to make the wrong one constantly, which actually put you in the wrong position most of the time. I get it. It's a protective measure, right? That we do that when we don't make decisions, and then we end up kind of at the will of whatever is happening around us. And you did a lot. It always feels like you're standing kind of in the center of the tornado, right? Like there's a shit storm going around you. Excuse my language, guys, but it is what it is. Going around you, and you're standing there going, I don't know how I got here. But it was typically because you were more afraid of making a solid decision. And also you weren't, I don't know, I don't want to say not paying attention to the details, but you tend to have rose-colored glasses on just a little bit when it comes to love and when it comes to people in general. Now, with that being said, I know that you are now in the position of genuinely trying to make sure that you are in an energy of soulmate attraction. I'm careful with the word soulmate because people get hung up on it thinking it's one person, and it's not. It is many possibilities. But in that attraction of building what feels safe and like home for you. Home in the sense of that it comforts you, it nurtures you, and it protects you, because you need really strong people in your life. For you, that's a real thing, right? There is also a skeptical side with this that comes up in not wanting to lose stuff or time. So some of that part isn't making sense to me. I'm not sure if it's because you came out of a divorce or if you are having issues within the relationship you're in. But in past experience, it shows me that there's so much change that you're like, listen, I want what I want, but I don't want any more change, right? I just want things to be firm and standing still and be as they should be. Things rarely do, darling. And things typically move very, very fast. If you are looking for new love, I can tell you that comes in a social setting for you. Now, I'm not sure if that's coworkers or business related. It kind of feels like it is for me because it comes from an outside source that's connected with something you do daily. But that could be also the gym or church or wherever you may find yourself. But I will say this, be careful not to get stuck in one mindset, and be careful not to procrastinate on making decisions. it will affect the way you are attracting in your love life, absolutely, because it has before. So I brought up the old stuff so that you can be aware of it. If you find yourself doing that right now, be careful and reverse that. Do the opposite, especially with us coming into Monday when Lionsgate opens up. Now, if you guys don't know what Lionsgate is, it is a massive portal. This is an old alignment that happens on the 8th of August every year when the sun is in Leo. Sirius, Orion, and the Earth all line up. Now, this goes back to ancient Egypt, right? This is part of their belief system, but it's also part of their new year. It's when the new year starts for them. So it's a time to really attract big things. So that's what I'm saying, that if you want to change things, if you want big things coming in right now, you need to start working on that prayer, that manifestation, starting Sunday night, going into Monday, and really meditate in that and call in what you want. That's going to be the biggest time that you're going to have over the next 4 to 5 months to really pull in that strong, sensual, feminine Scorpio energy. And that's very direct energy. So use that. If you guys are listening to, just to my reading for her, this is also for everybody. This is not just for Lisa. This is for everybody. That's what's coming in. You have to harness that energy and really, really use it. I'm a Scorpio, so I can tell you that we dive deep into things. We don't take things lightly. We take them very seriously. And when we're in them, we're all the way in. We're not toes in. We're over the head in, right? And so you kind of have to be in that same way. It goes beyond commitment or acceptance. It becomes emergence. And so I would beg you, plead with you to kind of do the same thing. At least I hope that helps a little bit, sweetie. If it's not enough of what you need, let me know and I'll try to pull some more. Miss Diane, can you get a reading regarding work? Yes, you can. I would absolutely love to do that for you. Brigitte saying, be very careful what you wish for. Be very specific. It is true. That's always true. But as we move into Lionsgate, let me just take a second, Diane, before I jump into that, because I want you guys to understand something about that energy. You guys know, everybody knows right now, that we are going through this battle of having to exert our feminine energy and really define where our boundaries are as to how the world is going to push us. We're just in that right now. And Lionsgate is really all about heavy feminine and earth energy. So it is a time when you manifest. It's a time when you push, because all that energy, all that undercurrent is there working for you. It is intense. But if you focus on love of self and love of the collective, and by that I mean, excuse me for a minute, guys, itchy eye. By that I mean love for your environment, for the planet, down to the plants, down to the animal, everything. If you can find that combined source of love, it will magnify what you're attracting in this time. So this is when we want to do it. Pay attention and be accountable for this, though. This is my one warning. Have your head on straight if you're going to manifest through this time intentionally, because what you manifest through Lionsgate is threefold. So be careful what you wish for, okay? Wish for good things. All right, Miss Diane, let me see if I can get in here with you and see what Diane needs to know about work. Just so y'all know, in case you're curious, because you can hear cards right now, it's playing cards. I don't use tarot cards, never have, don't understand them, think they're pretty. Don't get it. Doesn't mean much to me. I think they're awesome. I love getting tarot readings, and I love how committed other people are when they read tarot cards. I wish I had the patience to do it, but I don't. I have what's called spiritual ADD. I can't do it. I can't sit down long enough to focus on that. I think my head is in the clouds all the time. But let's look at work, because things for me regarding this, it's all coming in about balance and trust with the higher ups that you work with. There is a lack of leadership and wisdom within the workplace right now that's leaving people kind of floundering around. And I'm talking specifically to your workplace, but it's leaving people floundering around, not knowing what the hell to do with themselves. There are a lot of people who are like, should I go get more education, or should I just say, screw this and let this profession go? But for you personally, I think it actually opens up an opportunity for you to kind of slide in and move forward if you choose to, because people are going to start falling off. People are going to keep falling off. As things change systematically a lot of people won't be able to adapt to that change. And God knows, we still need people in those traditional roles, but it is a good opportunity for you to kind of slide in and reinvent yourself and take a charge in a different way. So I'm really hoping that you do that, because it's a big thing for you right now. I think in the past, much like what I said with Lisa with the rose-colored glasses, it's not that so let me be clear, when I use the word naive, I don't mean it in the sense ever that you guys are dumb or ignorant. I will say naive in the sense of the heart, of always hoping for the best, but usually getting the worst out of people. That aspect right now is not really shifting, but I think what has to shift is how you view it attaching to yourself. So are you taking it personally, or are you viewing it as a crumbling system with the potential to be a part of rebuilding a system? So things are looking good in that arena. I just want you to kind of have a new perspective on that and what exactly that means for you. So I hope that helps, sweet girl. Like I said before, if that's not enough, you let me know and I will just dig right in there and see what I can get done. Let's see. Hey, Chastity, what's going on, girl? You sure can. I'll get you a reading here in just a little bit. I'm so glad you got in here too, Chastity. We don't get to see you that much anymore, and I know everybody's working hard right now. Everybody's got a lot going on. Diane, you're welcome, sweetheart. I hope that was what you needed from it. While I'm taking a pause for the calls, I hope y'all will too. I'm dying over here. I'm telling y'all, it's 150 degrees in this house. I don't even know how hot it is in El Paso right now. Frying an egg would be an understatement on the sidewalk, but it's too much for me. I'm too old and too white for all this mess. So let me see what Miss Elise will say. I would love a reading. I know that something's coming in the next 2 weeks, but I want confirmation. I never know if I'm imagining what I see and hear or if it is real. Well, darling, there's a lot coming in the next 2 weeks, so I will be as specific as I can. Absolutely. There are several things that come in for me. One, you have somebody who's going to be passing. Two, you have somebody new who's coming into your life. So those are two of the major aspects that I see coming up. I see it coming up, actually. I'm not sure if this is in 4 days from now or the 14th. I keep getting this 4 repetitive. And I know today's the 4th, but it's not about today. But I do see those two things coming in. There's also something about shifts in the mindset of older people around you. Maybe this is where one person is going to be leaving. I'm not sure, because I do pick up on someone who's got some chronic health issues right now. That person may be bailing out and choosing not to be part of the paradigm that's coming in. I never like to be the bearer of that kind of news, but you will know whether that settles with you or not. As for the person who's coming in, this will be, what I see coming in is somebody who's having to make a lot of decisions. It looks like this is somebody who's coming out of an existing relationship. I do see 2 smaller children in that relationship. And it looks like it kind of comes in the capacity of bumping into somebody, and it's a very strong friendship feeling of like that. I know you, I know we've met, that strong sense of knowing someone. That feeling comes in for me really intensely. I don't know why I have to throw this out there too, guys, and God knows I hate doing this. People tease me about being the doomsday prophet. I am not, but when I see stuff, I have to say it. I do see a lot going on also in your area with water, but I think this has more to do with hurricane season coming in than anything. But I do see some issues coming in with that, and something about ground contamination in the water in that area. I'm hearing the word right now, fertilizer. So I don't know if there's a fertilizer plant out that way that's going to have a contamination issue, but that's what I'm picking up on. So I hope that's specific enough. If it's not what you're seeing, again, if you need me to clarify, I will, but that's what I see coming in for you. So there is someone who it looks like is going to have the option to check out should they like to, and this would be someone with chronic issues, and it feels like an older man to me, or someone with a heavy masculine energy. There's also this potential for, well, not potential, there's somebody coming in. He will be coming out of a relationship, and it looks for me like there are 2 small children. Now, one may or may not be born yet. which doesn't sound ideal, but it is what it is. And so Elise is saying they're working on a bridge nearby. Yeah, there's something coming in. Listen, and again, I think it's related to hurricane season, but I feel really strongly because it feels like flooding, but not in the sense of what we've seen to date so far in the Midwest and out west. This looks like a different type of water movement coming in. But I do see something happening with contamination, and keep an eye on that with the fertilizer thing, because when that pops up, you will know. All right. So I hope that can help a little bit, sweet girl. Hey, Zelda, how you doing, sweetie? Good to have you in. I'm going to try to catch up with you guys here because my head is just buzzing. I'm off in the netherworld right now, and I'm having a hard time focusing. I don't know why. Listen, I don't know who in the group has a man named Steve. Feels like he's either passed or he is passing, but for whatever reason, Spirit is leading me to say that word, and I don't know why. So I'll just say it. Whoever Steve is, whoever's connected to one of you guys, Spirit is coming in to talk about that. All right, let me get up and see where I am. Thank you all so much for holding space for my grandson. He ate today and has been up playing a little. Thank goodness. Chastity, I'm so happy. In case you guys don't know, her grandson has COVID, so we've all been holding energy for him. And I would ask everybody in the chat to also do that. Please keep him and her in your prayers for sure. I'm happy he's feeling better, sweetie, and he's going to be fine through this. I know it's a pain in the bum and it's scary, but he's going to be absolutely fine. He's a tough kid, so I'm not worried about him at all. All right. Let's see. Elise said she's in the middle of South Georgia with a lot of farms. Then that explains it. But I'm telling you, there's something coming in about ground contamination with the water, but it is fertilizer. It looks like it's something like chemical based coming off of the fertilizer. I hope like heck it doesn't affect you guys at all, but I just have to mention it when it comes up. And your dad and your uncle are both having health issues. I am sorry. I will tell you that, again, it feels like an older gentleman in your life, and I'm not sure which one of them it is, but somebody's going to be making the decision to step back. I hate saying that kind of thing, but one of them is going to. So let me jump up with Chastity real quick because I know she had asked for reading. Hey, KJ, what's up, girl? KJ's in the house. Chastity, let me look back up and see where you were asking for a reading and see if I can figure out what it's about. Do you just want a general reading, Chastity, or was it something specific? Let me know if you can so I can kind of help you out a little bit more with that. Carol. Zelda, you can hear Miss Wanda saying her name. I can too. I swear to God, I hear Wanda's voice in my nightmares. Just teasing. Me and Wanda have had some times. Let me just tell y'all. Girl is a hot mess. Okay, so just a general reading. So I guess that's where we're going for Chastity. Yep, and we'll see what's coming up. I gotcha. Kelsey, I see you too, sweetie, so I'll get to you in just a second. There's a whole lot going on right now, guys. Listen, if you guys are feeling sick or people around you are getting sick, I'm going to tell you, don't lose your minds in the fear of the sickness. A lot of us are going to go through this right now because we're trying to calibrate to the fact that this planet is spinning faster than what we're used to. We're trying to calibrate to the electric charge that's in the air with all the storms, with all the water moving through. It's a lot right now, and our bodies react. So if you start feeling a little wonky, try not to freak out too much. Okay, so let's get in with Miss Chastity and see what we've got going on. Other than being the caregiver, my darling, and kind of being stuck with that because you are the caregiver for a lot of people, not just the baby. One of the major things that comes up for me is your sleep pattern, and you have to kind of get a grip on that because it's taken a toll. There's so many irregularities in your life as far as time goes and how it's managed because it's eaten up all day with something else, with either work or the needs of someone else. That it puts your body in a system of never really being able to balance itself 100%. There's also the issue for me with food. You have to eat better. And I know it's really hard when you're as busy as you are, but you have to eat better. You have to take better care of yourself because you're spreading all this, this energy, you're throwing so much out, but you have to make sure that you're putting the right kind of fuel in the engine. If you put diesel in a gas engine, the dang thing's gonna clunk out, right? And I need you to make sure that you're paying attention to those sort of things. I know there's a lot of little details also with your son and with the grandbaby that have to be minded right now. Also, okay, with the starting of school and all this stuff, but it's even more than that. It's really staying on top of stuff because both of them tend to have a little bit of a deficit when it comes to attention and detail. So it's something where it just puts more on you, more to worry about, more to remember, more to keep up with. And I think this is where a lot of that not feeling rested for me comes from with you, because it's not only that your body doesn't get the rest, but your mind never gets the rest. Your brain's just 24/7, go, 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 go. It makes it really hard. But as far as things coming up and kind of where things are moving for you, things are going to be steady on this path, although they will level out. It's not bad news. It's just about finding equilibrium in what you can't control, right? And these things, these movements that we're going through right now are not controllable. But you're very fortunate, young lady, that you have the tools to know how to release if you use them. And you also have a heck of a group here to call on when you need them. But the main majority of the issue in all of this is just you being spread too thin, sweet girl. This is like really runny peanut butter on thick white Texas toast. It don't work. You've got to take care of yourself, get the substance up, and try to balance it. Just try to find your balance through it. It'll be okay. Things will pass. There's a lot of that going around right now, so you are definitely not alone. That's all you do. Listen, isn't that the crapper about being a woman and being a mother? I will tell you that much. There are days when I wake up to think, did I do anything for myself? Did I shower today? Have I shaved any part of my body this week? Probably not. And I have to stop myself too and remember, hey, whoa, whoa, slow down. Do you know what I mean? I'm just running on autopilot, but I get it. But we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to make sure that we're clearing and that we're making time, because now with movement happening so much faster, we literally feel like we're not getting anything done. There's not enough day to get it done, literally everything that we have to get done. But it's also okay not to get everything done. That is a boundary that we put on ourselves, that schedule we put on ourselves. If the world needs us to get it done to the point where we're making ourselves crazy, that's the world's problem, right? Sometimes you just have to sit back and let it go and let it flow, kid. But you will get through it, I promise. All right, let me jump back up, make sure I didn't miss anybody. I got Miss KJ in. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I'm so happy to see all of y'all here this week. I was just laughing last week, and I said, I think I'm going to quit doing my show because I'm the boring one in the group. Everybody else is so funny. Do you know what I mean? I love watching everybody because I'm involved on the back end. I love watching everybody's shows, but I'm definitely the boring one in the group. I was like, maybe I ought to do these people a favor, just back off, right? Let them have the comedy hour with everybody else. So let me jump over to Kelsey real quick. You want a non-health reading. Well, amen, girl. I hope things have leveled out a little bit in that area. I know that you now have a new job that you have finally chosen. I will hope that this is the one you're sticking with, although I feel like it absolutely is. I feel like you're charging in there like a bull in a ring, right? With the matador thing going on, just charging in like a bull. There's no big new decisions that need to be made in anything right now. That's going to be tricky for you because you have been in a state of constantly going over things and making decisions that I don't know how you'll feel about there not being that in the loop right now. It might make you feel a little bit off kilter, but there's nothing major coming in. It's actually opening up time for you to start working more on yourself, on spirituality, and on the things that matter to you, with the groups that you volunteer with the things that you're involved in, because you are someone who's so involved in community. It's going to give you more time to kind of focus on those things and pick up pieces that may have fallen to the wayside a little bit, where before those things were kind of a lifeline of keeping you sane. Now they can become a joyous thing that keeps you happy, right? Something that keeps the fun moving for you, because it's definitely time for that. It's time for all of that. Life is grounding out for you really well, and you're going to get right back on track where you were 2.5, 3 years ago really quickly. In fact, it's going to speed up with work. It will speed up once you get through, I would say, the first 3 to 4 months of kind of general understanding and getting a real good grip on your environment, what's going on. You're going to blaze through there. And I think you're going to be there for the long haul for a really long time. I don't see this being a short-lived thing. So life for you is looking real good. But like I said, now that that's settling down, make some space to find the passion again for the things that you do outside of all of that. Open yourself back up to really enjoying those things again instead of them kind of being the lifeline. Let them be the boat ride, right? Let it be the time that you can really enjoy yourself and kind of let yourself go. And I'm excited for you. I know it's been Kelsey, it's been a real journey, and we've all been on it with you, right? Excuse me. So I'm really excited to see you kind of getting in a place where things are stabilizing and normalizing, and because I know you need that. I'm not somebody who craves, I like stability, don't get me wrong, but I'm not someone who craves grounding. With you, it's the dead opposite. If you're not grounded, you feel like everything's falling apart. So when things come together like this, it's amazing because it lets you put both feet back on the ground. Just get out there and maybe take the shoes off and walk around barefooted and find the passion and the joy and reconnect to the rest of your life now too, now that that one part's solved. Let me see what you're saying. You were reading about Ascension flu last week. Well, yeah, listen, I was just talking about that. If you're feeling that movement, a lot of people are going through flu-like symptoms with fatigue, with the throat chakra stuff, the congestion, nasal congestion, basically upper respiratory, but mainly in the throat chakra, and the exhaustion and the upset stomach and all of these things. It is part of the process of the movement that this planet is making. And since we're on it, we're going through that movement as well. Excuse me. And it does take a moment for our bodies to kind of calibrate and for our minds to calibrate as well. It's difficult. I mean, think of it like being on one of those crazy spinning rides, right, at the fairs and the festivals, and you're just go and go. When you get off, it takes you a couple minutes. You're disoriented. So it is kind of that same thing, absolutely. But I hope you feel better with everything. Let me just bounce around in here for a second, girls, because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Zelda, you can absolutely get a reading. I will get you in 1 second, my darling. Hello, Miss Betty Smith. I can get you a reading for sure. If you can, Betty, let me know if you have a question. I would like to get you as detailed a reading as I can. Oh, Victor thinks you're not even close to snoozing over there. Got all the comic relief. Well, I don't know, but I will just say I have been a fruitcake all day. I mean, not that I'm usually not, but I have been channeling my inner redneck. I think it's being back and working with my girls that makes me more Southern, because I grew up in the South, but I dropped a lot of that. I mean, I still have an accent, but I dropped a lot of the thickness and a lot of the sayings over the years just from living outside of country and doing the work that I did outside of country. And it's funny now being back on the network with Rachel, with Wanda, and I find myself constantly now I'm spitting stuff out to my kid like, boy, I'll get on you like white on rice, right? Like I'm having to really like, woo, there she is. There's the redneck, right? Like she is back in full force, and it's funny. I think my kid didn't know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time because he's not sure. He's not sure what it all means, right? His poor little brain's in Italian. Carol, you've been clearing your throat chakra today. Me too. I mean, you guys are seeing it now. I'm having to like keep water going down my throat, and it's a little dry, and I'm having a hard time kind of balancing all of that stuff. So I'm right there with you, sweet girl. Let me jump up to Miss Zelda really quick. So you got a lot going on with your family right now involving the grandkids, and also something going on with your son, kind of under a lot of stress. Absolutely. I will get what I can get, sweetie. And I'm really sorry for, I just got dizzy. Lord have mercy. Zelda, are you in Georgia too? I'm not sure where you are, but I'm just going to say there's something in the minute that I'm talking about Wanda and Rachel. I don't know why, but I'm picking up some stuff happening in Georgia. Y'all keep an eye on it. It looks like there might be a little seismic activity, nothing to do any damage. But sometimes when I pick up on home like that, when things are moving seismically, I get a little bit dizzy. Or I'm just picking up on all that you got going on. So thanks for that. But let me take a look at kind of what I can figure out. So the whole thing going on with you guys, for me, really has been about years of bad communication and miscommunication, even more than that, about two different versions of what family stability and commitment look like. There's two very strong opinions here about what that looks like. In the middle of all of this, it's put you in a position where you always have to be the one who's flexible, the one who's finding solutions, the one who's picking up the weight. It's incredibly unfair, but this is what it is. And so much of this has affected you guys in the sense of having to be parents even beyond parenting your own child. I mean, children, but in this scenario, child. It's the financial stress of it. It's the worry about it, but it's the differing opinions and how things should be done, or what is stable, what is sensible, what is logic. I don't know how quickly that heals itself, because I get the sensation, and maybe that's why this is coming in. It feels for me, and I'm not going to get too detailed here because I don't want to, it's your family. I don't want to go too crazy online. But it feels like to me that there are some issues that affect this person's perception of reality and what is right or wrong most of the time. It does not feel like something new either. It feels like something that's been happening for quite a long time. That makes it impossible for him to grow up, because it keeps him in a constant position of living in a fantasy land. And it's not even a good fantasy land. This is more like, the Nightmare Before Christmas. It's not like it's Disney World. It's not like that. But it makes it really hard because there's no grounding in reality. Woo, I'm getting it again. If you guys are going through some kind of situation with legal or state coming in, I can tell you that there is some type of legal or state involvement that comes in and will also finish up in October. The month of October is going to be incredibly important for you guys, where family is concerned and where this is concerned. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling down to kind of see what you're saying. There is a lot going on, but listen, it's all over the place. It's going to continue, unfortunately, to be unstable. And I know that it's really hard because it's rocking the core of your relationships and home and balance and what all of that is. But I'm telling you, if you can hang tight a couple more months, this thing gets itself resolved. Now, is it always going to be a bit of a pain where he's concerned? Yes. Because I think, unfortunately, he has a chemical imbalance. There are some mental health issues there on top of what looks like substance issues for me that he's not ready to resolve, nor does he want to. And he doesn't want to admit that it's even a problem. I think he's always viewed it as it's everybody else's damn problem, right? So, and he kind of has this feeling like you guys owe him for something. I will say that is absolutely incorrect, but just hold it down. Keep breathing, keep holding, and try to keep yourself as separated from the sickness as you can. I know that's easier said than done, but I've kind of been through this aspect maybe on the light version, right? You have to separate yourself from that situation because there's nothing you can do for him. I mean, I know that's hard. It sounds harsh when I'm saying it, but there's nothing you can do for him. You now just have to focus on the kids. And that's really the only place where help and fixing and solution can come in. So whatever's going to happen legally here, whatever's going to happen with you guys getting help, if it's going to be custody or whatever this is going to be, October is your finish date on that, and things will lighten up. So my darling, I will keep you in my thoughts and prayers, and I hope that you're able to kind of disconnect from some of the emotional stress and abuse with this so that you can just get on with business the way it needs to be handled, because you're a tough woman. It's not like you're a softie, you're a tough lady, but you have got to separate now from that sickness. When I said there's nothing you can do for him, there is nothing you can do for him. At this point, it's just about saving yourself and saving what remains of the family and saving the kids. So I know in this group, everybody will be holding for you, darling, and praying for you, and we will be thinking about you in meditation. And I hope that things get a heck of a lot easier for you on that side, sweetie. I really, really do. God bless all of you. You're trying to get custody of the granddaughter. It'll happen in October. I mean, this is where I'm going with this. What I'm seeing is a legal situation, like with the state. This will all get solved in October, so hang tight, okay? Hang tight. It's coming. I know it's long and it's stressful and it's painful, but it's coming. The solution and the resolution are coming, so hang tight, sweet girl. Let me jump up and see. Kelsey, you've been having earthquakes in northern Kansas, Nebraska. Yeah, I feel a lot of earth movement. I mean, we were talking about that in class yesterday, but there's a whole lot of movement for me. I know in the class, if you guys are interested, I'm sure Carol and Brigitte and KJ will be happy to share with you some of the work that we're doing now. We're meditating on the earth energy to try to assist the planet to let some steam off without blowing her lid, because we know that there's a lot of pressure that needs to be released. I think every woman on the planet feels that because we're so heavily connected, right? We and Mother Earth are so heavily connected. We all need to blow a little steam without blowing our lid. But if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about that, chat with the girls, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help you out. So let me see. Have I missed anything? Man, I need a secretary in here. This is crazy stuff. Oh, thanks, Diane. I'm not boring. I sure do appreciate that. I'm a lot more fun after a couple glasses of wine, I will tell you right now, when I loosen up. It's just hard, right? Like I'm used to being on live television and or being face-to-face with people. So I think it's just I'm stubborn and, you know what it is. I'm grandmother. I'm set in my ways. I'm old, a little bitchy, a whole lot hormonal. I don't find myself that funny anymore, I'll be honest. But if I'm keeping y'all entertained, then I'm super happy. Brigitte, you blend right in on the family table. Oh, I'm your kick-ass sister. Thanks. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. Y'all are super, super sweet. So Kelsey's still having some health issues, but you're working on it. Been waiting to get into the university for years, and it made you feel good when you were there the other day and they already have a name on your office mailbox. That's awesome. Sweetie, that's your place, though. This is where you belong. You're finally landing where you belong. But remember what I said. It's kind of like anti-retirement. You know how when older people retire and they think, oh, my God, when I retire, I'm going to do all this stuff. And they get home and they're ready to pull their damn hair out. And this is kind of the opposite for you, because now you're going to work and you're like, oh, my God, I got all this stuff to do. I'm going to pull my hair out. It'll be fine, but you got to find some balance in it. I'm really excited for you. So, Betty, you wanted a reading on work related. And Zelda, you're in Ohio. Okay. Maybe that's what it is. It's hard for me to keep up where all of you guys are sometimes because I don't know where all of you live. Some of you I do. But I keep getting all this seismic stuff. I keep getting this dizzy seismic thing. So wouldn't be surprised if there's not going to be some minor shock waves, if we want to call it that. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So let me get with Miss Betty and see. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything else, Miss Betty, what I can do. I'm trying to figure out if you should change your job. There's a whole lot of people doing right now trying to figure out what they need to change. That's a real theme. And it's coming up a lot because all of us have a lot of things we need to change. Like I'm on everybody's butt a whole lot saying, the days of kind of sitting around and saying, well, maybe one day or maybe tomorrow I'll get this done. Those days are gone. They're just gone. We don't have time for any of that anymore. What changes we want to make, it's now, right? But will you be moving into a new job? Sorry, my dogs are getting real excited. Ladies, Grace Kelly? Sorry, guys. Lay down, madam. No, you need to lay down. Okay, the answer is yes. Here's the thing. There is something different coming in job-wise. I'm not sure if it is leaving the job you're in or taking a different position. But there is movement coming forward in that. There is a senior person above you, hey, ladies, that would prefer that you are there. But there is this real resentment where work is concerned because it's just, I don't want to use the bad word, a cluster muffery. Who's going to say that? That's kind of a Mormon cuss word. A cluster muffery of other people making gains for doing the wrong thing or doing nothing at all. And it just creates this, I don't know, like this burning thing in the gut, right? So changing, yes. I'm just not sure if it's going to be changing position or role in the group that you're already in, or if this is a whole new thing. I kind of feel like it's just changing in where you are, but now that can shift too. That depends on what you want, right? You have to choose the attraction on that about if you really want all the way out. You have to make that decision. If you do, then just do it, because right now is the perfect time to do all of that. Just do it and get it over with, and don't feel bad about it at all. Sorry, I got to rope in a dog here. Madam, please sit down. Grace, sit. Grace Kelly, sit down right now. Lay down. Baraju. Basta. Sorry, she only listens in Italian. Anyway, so yeah, as far as the job goes, just kind of sit down with it. I know you've been thinking about it a lot, but I'm just not sure yet which way it's going. I would say use the time to manifest it. If you really can't stomach it anymore, then don't stomach it anymore. But otherwise, see if you can move around within that same place and kind of hold on to what little security you know is there, as aggravating as it may be. So I hope that helps out, my darling. Let me see. Oh, sweetie, you are super welcome. You are super welcome. Listen, I hate to see family suffering. And Betty, you're welcome, sweet girl. I hate to see anybody suffering, but the truth is right now that we are trying to move out of a time of suffering. To move there, we still have to go through some, because we're having to shed all of the old things, like a snake shedding its skin. We have to shed, and those things are still painful. Shedding and letting go of situations and people still hurts, even if it's for the right thing, even if it's for your highest good, your highest purpose. It still hurts. There's no two ways about that. It's just hard to get around it. But you have to be able to sit in it and observe it without absorbing it like a sponge and letting it crush you. This is the difference. This is where that strength comes in, right? We have to be able to kind of be like a boxer, dodging the blows, even though we know the blows are coming. Put a little Vaseline on the cheeks, right? So if it hits, it doesn't hurt quite so bad. But we can't take it all to heart, even though it feels like it's going to rip our hearts out sometimes. You got this. You got this, Zelda. And Betty, you do too. You've got this with work too. Don't stomach too much. You make the decisions about what you want. You're actually in a position to do that. So find your strength, sister, and do what you got to do for yourself. Brigitte, your son David's home and he would like a reading. Well, yes, he can have a reading for the low, low price of $19.99. I'm just joking. Ask Mr. David what he would like me to give him a reading about, and I will do my best. And you guys let me know if you want to do some of these psychic games. And if you guys want to do them, I'll make time to do it. If you guys don't, then I will save it for the next show, and we will just have a psychic quiz show next time and see how psychic everybody is. I already know. I just don't know if y'all know. That's one of the funny things about the 5D classes, is that people don't realize how psychic they are until they're in them. And then they're like, oh my God. Right? So while we're waiting on David, Elise, you used to do the same thing. You grew up in Florida and didn't have an accent. You come to Georgia and go right by the draw. I'm telling you. Girl, it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I'll tell you what's really funny was I spoke a lot of jive because I had a nanny growing up who was Jamaican, and I loved her, and she was amazing, but I spoke a lot of jive. And so I had to really curve that one for obvious reasons, because I wouldn't get my ass kicked all the time, even though I meant nothing insulting about it. But I've either got a hardcore Italian accent, I sound like I should be on a maple syrup bottle, or I'm talking jive. None of the three are that awesome. When they're mixed, it's even worse. I mean, it's funny though. I'm not gonna lie. Just a general reading for David. Okay, let's see how general we can get. I bet I can get pretty general. David, you are a boy. I'm joking. I won't get that general, but I will see what I can find out. So you guys, anybody that's interested in doing the Lionsgate portal and working within that, if you have any questions, reach out to Miss Brigitte. I'm going to put some stuff up on the network for it. Also, if you guys want to participate, it will be Monday, August 8th, but I will have some stuff going up over the next couple of days to help you with meditating through that and kind of boosting manifestation and attracting in what you want to attract. This is a big one, guys. So if you've got big things, this is the time to do it. Pearl did want a reading. Not sure if it went through. It didn't, but I will get to her. Elsie, thank you for letting me know. And Kirsten, here's a funny. Your bed broke in half, not fixable while you were sleeping last night. Oh my God. Any thoughts, something, or someone trying to get my attention? You weren't hurt, girl. Give me a minute. It's actually funny that you say that, but on a lot of different levels. Let me jump in with David and see what I can get for him, and then I will get to your breaking bed. We'll see what we can figure out on that. So Mr. David is pushing along, working all the time, but feels like he ain't getting nowhere, right? Like all that hard work sometimes feels like it ain't going to pay off. It will. The thing I think where he is he has to open up a little more. There's this real fine line with him about being, I don't know. Weak is not the word. He doesn't want to be a fool. He didn't want to be anybody's fool, right? Which I get. Nobody wants to be the fool here. But sometimes you have to be foolhardy and childlike to be able to see the next step. Sometimes we have to have the heart of a fool to see forward. He is a hard worker and he is a doer, and he will always be a doer. He's a hustler. He hustles, and I like that. That boy's not afraid to do anything, and I also like that aspect. But he's got to lighten up a little bit and get a little bit serious with himself and where those expectations are. He almost beats the fun out of it sometimes. So it's a little bit about letting go in a way too. It's funny because Brigitte, he has so much of you in the sense of the sensibilities and the determination and the ethic and the way that he does things. But then he also has a whole lot of his dad in him. I see a whole lot of his dad in him. And it's all about wanting to master everything. He just wants to kill it. Do you know what I mean? It drives him crazy if it doesn't go exactly the way he knows he can do it. I'm not going to say wants to do it, but knows he can do it. He's skilled at so many things, and everything he touches, he has the ability to turn to gold. He has that Midas touch with things. But he has to bring the joy a little more into things so that he can kind of go as far as he wants to go. But everything looks good for him. I think he's always going to work better with the older people. I don't know why, but I think there's a certain level of respect and admiration in the knowledge of other people that he likes. But he's going to do just fine. He's good. I don't have a whole lot to say just because he's precious, but he's got this. He's got that whole thing in him. He's got all the skill. He's got all the knowledge. He's got the hustle. Boy's fine. So he will be just good. Mr. David, you will be fine, my love. Just lighten up a little bit. Be kind of like Peter Pan. If Peter Pan and, who do I want to say here, Bob Vila could have a baby, that's who I would like to see you be. Bob Vila, Peter Pan's child. There we go. That's kind of the way I would like to see it. All right, Miss Pearl. I didn't get her, Elise, and in fact, maybe she's not on the Ascension Network. She might have clicked in, or she hasn't liked the page. I'm not sure. But let me see what I can pull through for her. Or would you mind asking her, since I can't see her typing, what, if there's anything specific, if she has a question, or if she just wants something general, so I can try to get as specific as I can. Brigitte said a lot of daddy. All right, yeah, I can smell it. There's a whole lot of daddy in there. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But a whole lot of daddy in there. Oh, Lord. While we're seeing what Pearl wants to do, I will jump over to Kirsten really quick, and that is super funny. Here's the thing, lady. I just said last night to Victor, we were talking about all you girls because we came out of class. And I said, that KJ, she's something else. I said, you know, I won't know anything until I read it on Facebook with her, is what I said. Sometimes I have a hard time picking up on you. The bed breaking, there was nothing hidden, no hidden message in there except for you need to buy your ass a new bed. It's just weak. You know what I mean? It's just weak. But you're also hard on a bed. You have a real thing with kind of plopping on things and not like gracefully sitting on things. I know sometimes it's hard to gracefully sit on things, but sometimes you should. So nothing deep in there, darling. Just be more gentle on the next bed that you get. Unless there's something you want to tell the group about, girl, unless you've been up to something we need to know about. But I don't think so. Okay, Elise. So she just wanted to. Kirsten said it's old. There's no grace here. That's what the problem is, darling. You can't plop on oldness and think it ain't going to break. It's exactly what's going to happen, girl. Get you a strong new bed and start sitting your ass down a little more softly. All right. Let me get back up here so I can make sure that I get Pearl. So just a general reading for Pearl. All right, Miss Pearl, this is for you. I wish you were in here so I could get to know you a little better. And it may just be that you need to like the page. If you haven't liked the page, sometimes I can't see your comments. It's probably better. I bet there's a whole people in here right now that I can't see their comments, and I'm probably glad I can't. I'm just joking. I love seeing y'all's comments. Okay, what does Miss Pearl need to know? What does she need to know? What does she need to know? Lord help me. You girls are getting so many of the same cards and so much of the same information coming up. It is ridiculous. Okay, Miss Pearl. Miss Pearl, Miss Pearl. You have this thing about starting stuff sometimes and not finishing it all the way. You will get very deep into it, but then you just kind of drop the mic a little bit. Those are the devil in the details are all in that. It's the one thing I think that kind of keeps you in this circulation of, I don't know, like you gracefully go through all this, though. It doesn't really beat you up too much. Actually, I admire that about you. You kind of gracefully go through all of it. And in the same time, you're really grounded. So you're an interesting character. I like you. I would say there is something new, though, that you're starting. I think that's why I'm getting the starting and not finishing thing. There is something new coming up. I'm not sure if this is like a project or if this is like a joint venture with some type of work that you're creating, because for me you're highly creative. One of the things I pick up on with you is that you're highly creative with things, with your hands, but artistically as well, like super creative. But you have to find a way to harness that passion if you want to turn it into business. You have to be able to find a way to harness the finishing. It's the other details, right? The boring stuff. That stuff has to be dealt with too. So I do see you moving forward that if you can kind of like channel your inner secretary, your inner manager, you will find ways to move through things really easily like that. In March also, I see other things coming up for you. And I don't know why it feels like, I don't know if you sell or if you're already doing this or if you did it in the past. If you sell things like at art shows or festivals or fairs, or flea market, I'm not sure what this is, but I see you like in outdoor settings, almost moving around, selling whatever this is that you're going to be doing. But it does look for me like you're working with another partner, if not two. So things look really good for me where you're going, but I need you to now harness the other side, the secretary side, right? The paperwork, the organization, the sticking to a deadline, the holding yourself accountable to a deadline thing, all those things. Because being a fairy with beautiful wings is wonderful, but sometimes you need somewhere to land, right? Like you have to be able to land on some solid ground every once in a while and kind of get yourself organized. So try to do that for me if you can, but things look really good for you. And I'm glad that you popped in. I'm just sorry that I can't see you. So at least she's flea markets. Okay. That's what it felt like for me. It feels like vendor type atmosphere. She's going to do really good, but you guys just have to keep her organized. Try to help her as her friends. Keep her organized, right? Let's keep Pearl on the path. And that's going to be the new phrase. In fact, every time y'all see Pearl, y'all need to yell that at her. Let's keep Pearl on the path. I like that one a lot. All right, let me jump up real quick. Let's see. Oh, June, girl, how are you? Oh, my gosh. Y'all miss June, and I have been friends for a long time. I am so happy to see you in here, June. Can I tell you anything about the 2 estates you're working on now? Is this estate planning, June? I need you to be a little more specific because it feels for me more like it's planning, like finishing up things. If you can let me know that real quick, I'll jump right in, of course. Elsie, she wants to know how she will do at the casino at the end of the month. Good Lord. Did we just talk about fairies flying around who need somewhere solid? Don't go spend your money at the casino. I'll tell you how you're going to do. You're going to end up at the bar saying that was a whole lot of fun. I wish I'd won some damn money. Please, go have fun. But don't put your hopes and dreams on the casino. It's a good time, but that's all it is. Good time. So, June, yeah, if you can let me know, I will jump right. Oh, bless her heart. Well, Pearl, thank you, darling. And I'm glad I hit it on the head for you. That's why I like you guys asking questions. It makes it easier for me. She plays a fairy machine. Of course she does. I'm telling you. I just see little wings, right? Better ground yourself. You got to ground yourself, girl. All right, June. Since I'm not getting back, this feels like 2 estates that are settling out for me that you're working on. If I'm wrong, you correct me, but that's exactly what it feels like. Both feel like they are kind of coming into completion, although there is a separation. With one, there's a separation in that it almost feels like, I don't know, like there's an undertone of somebody fighting. There's like a mistrust thing. So it's dad's estate and your sister's estate and the problem with the nephew. There's where the trust thing comes in. Thank you for letting me know. It feels like the mistrust thing is the major thing that's holding that one up. And there's not a whole lot you can do about that one because it's a control move only because he's worried about money, right? He's worried about that momentum of having something, having money, and he feels like nobody's being flexible with him. I think at the end of the day, time will heal that a little bit, but it's still going to have to go through probate, through the court, through some kind of mediation to work that out because he's not really sensible about it. He's naive. He's not prepared in those ways to deal with this kind of things. Now, I've met most of your family, and so I'm not sure which one this is, but if it's the sister, I think it is. I would just say that God love her heart. She was so good in everything she did, and she wanted everything to be fair all the time, but things can't always be fair. What's fair for one person isn't fair for the other. And you have to stand firm in that regard. As far as your dad's estate goes, that will go fine. It just seems like to me that there was a lot of lack of planning or a lack of documentation and details. Maybe it was missing paperwork. I don't know, but it feels like something in that arena kind of holds that back from moving forward. It will settle, but this takes some time. As we go into September, there's something that's going to come in like a piece of information, or there's some kind of movement in that makes it much easier, like a salvation almost for you to be able to move through it. And I have to tell you, it feels like dad's coming in actually to offer that piece of help. So be open and be aware that that's coming in. Something's coming in inspirationally, and it does feel like for me that it's from dad, that he's going to come in and kind of type some loose ends for you, because it really feels like there's something missing out of this. I feel like things aren't complete in either paperwork or documentation. There's some piece of the puzzle that's missing here, but things will wrap up with that one as well. It's going to take a little while. It's not going to be over tomorrow. And in fact, I don't see both of them settling out for a while. I think combined, you're looking at about 2 years before everything is done. And I know that sounds horrific, but you've already been in this for a long time. And Brooke is also, geez Louise. Bless your heart with Brooke. June, girl, we probably need to have a reading. I'm just going to tell you. It's unfortunate given what everybody went through. But I mean, these things, I think everybody knew that there were going to be some issues here, right? That this wasn't going to be easy to work through. And God love you, June. It's always on you, honey. I have to take my hat off. You hold it together and you hold it up. But there's nothing more you can do, June. I'm going to say that. Let it go. Take the weight off your shoulders, because you've been carrying this now for 30 years and you have to now put it down a little bit. Okay. It's time for you to just kind of kick back and enjoy your life and enjoy your kids and your grandkids and not be quite as consumed. I know you have to take care of all this stuff, but you can take care of it without it taking care of you. if you get what I'm saying. So try to do that, and let's schedule some time to talk. And I wanted to tell you guys that too, because I know we had talked about it a while back. Rachel and Victor and I are all available for readings, even though we don't push them with you guys at all, because we're just happy to be here in this time with you guys doing the show. But should you decide that you want a private reading with one of us, I know everybody has a little different rate system. For me, I'm always available the next day, so Fridays after the show, the entire day, and it's $20 for 20 minutes. Anybody that's had readings with me privately outside before can tell you that's not a lot of money. But if you guys need more information, or you just got something personal that you're going through that you don't want to share here, which is also understandable. Not everybody want to hang their dirty underwear out on the line online. You can get in touch with me through the Ascension Network, and every single Friday I will be available for you guys. So if you decide you want to go down that road, let me know. Ladies, it is about that time, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank y'all so much. I didn't get to do the other stuff. We didn't get to do the psychic games, but I promise you this, next Thursday, we will do half readings and half psychic games, and we'll see how psychic you guys are. With that being said, I love y'all so much, and thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for supporting the Ascension Network, for making my dream come true of getting this off the ground, and making everybody's dreams come true, for being able to provide you guys with so much entertainment and love and information. We truly appreciate you guys, and I wish you guys the best weekend ever. Just keep in mind, it's going to get crazy out there, so don't be crazy too. All right? We love you.